Hi, I'm Joel Worthington, President of Mr. Electric. Thanks for joining me for 2 Minute Tuesday. I want to talk to you today about time management. Now, there's an internet site called Early to Rise, and they have a YouTube site as well. And one of the things that they found is the best time management tip is to knock out one of your big projects or goals on your to-do list before you do anything else. Do it first. Get up early, get started on it, and get it out of the way. So the interesting thing about that is Stephen Covey also wrote a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is a bestseller. And also he wrote another book called First Things First. And in both those books he talks about his time management matrix that is behind me. You may be familiar with it, or you may have read the book a long time ago and haven't thought about it. But I want to give you some quick tips right off the bat, because time management is so important to being successful in putting first things first. And in Stephen Covey's matrix, he talks about the urgent, not urgent, important and not important. And it's about where we spend our time, because in the first category here we have urgent and important. So those are things like meetings, deadlines that we have to get done, and so they're urgent and they're important, so it's okay to spend time there. In fact, you're probably going to spend a good amount of time there. The next one, not urgent but important, are things like planning, personal development, and all of those things that a lot of times get put at the end of things. They're not on our calendar. We don't take the time to get them done, and so we end up living over here and over here. The urgent categories really rule our life. What are the not important urgent things that fill your life? Wow, so many things, like this email that somebody sends you that they want a response right now, but it's really not that important. A lot of phone calls that we take. Well, the phone's ringing, so that's urgent, but really we know who it is, caller ID. It's not that important. We probably don't need to take that call. There are so many things. What about all the errands that we run every day, that we're running here, we're running there, the walk down the hall to different people's office, all sorts of little things that are urgent, but they are not really that important. But here's the worst one, that is not urgent and it's not really important, like playing that little video game that all those people on Facebook invite me to all the time. And all the little things that we end up filling our lives with, they're not important, they're not urgent, and then we wonder why we can't get the big things in our life done, why we can't write that book that we've thought about writing, why we can't spend the time with a relationship that we really want to spend time with someone, our children. You know, if we put first things first and get our life in order, boy, it makes for a successful life, and at the end of the day, then we can say, wow, this really worked out good. So a couple of things. Put it on your calendar. Put these things on your calendar. The time for planning, the time for personal development. Get up early, start on them. Get that exercise done early in the morning so that you get it out of the way. Put those on your calendar, make time for them. And one of the things that I like to recommend people do often is take a couple of weeks and just simply get you a spreadsheet and break it down into 30 minutes from the time you get up to the time you go to bed, and put down everything you did in those 30 minutes. After 2 weeks, you'll get a good picture of the areas where you're not spending enough time, and a lot of time right over here where you're just wasting time. Once you get that fixed and put first things first and manage the time in your life, you'll have the time of your life.